Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. We're going to talk about Keir Starmer and AI and what he's going to do to the civil service. But before I do, I've just got to tell this. The last video I made, I was talking about David Lammy scoffing his way through £7,000 worth of biscuits. And of course, I kept mentioning the word biscuits. And every time I did, my dog, who's sitting just down there looking at me, and I've said it again, but I've got a spare one. Every time I said the word biscuit, he was looking at me and licking his lips. And I, of course, didn't realise. I finished the video, stopped doing it. I was in the middle of uploading it. I happened to glance at him, and I was looking the look of expectation in his face. Oh, I'm so sorry, son. I had to get up and give him a biscuit. But, yeah. Sometimes you have to think about these things. I didn't think. I'm a good boy, though. I gave him a fat biscuit. Anyway, Keir Starmer. So, Keir Starmer's had a really bright idea, because he does this sometimes. He thinks, I know, it's a bit like Useless, wasn't it? Hamza Yusuf, when he was doing his speech, and he was like, I've run out of things to say. What can I say? Bing! Council tax freeze. Well, that's Keir Starmer. He's had one of those light bulb moments. And he said, AI. I'm going to replace the civil service with AI and make £45 billion worth of savings. Firstly, no, he isn't. Secondly, where the hell did he get the number 45 billion? Was that another one of those Bing numbers? And thirdly, you think the unions are going to let this happen? Now, don't get me wrong. AI has a place. Of course it does. There's a lot of things that AI can do. And frequently you phone up places now and it's... Is your call about this? Is your call about that? If it's about this, press 1 and all that sort of thing. You can get an AI there. Or tell us what it's about. Oh, especially with banks, it's a credit card. Is it about a credit card? Yes. I will put you through to the credit card department. And that's fine. I don't get it. That isn't an issue for me. Okay, you're going to lose receptionists and whatever and telephonists. But, life moves on. We've got taxi cabs came about. We lost all the handsome cabs in London. Now, a lot of people who drove handsome cabs said, I'm going to be out of a job. And then they got cars and went, I'm still in a job. And London was better for it because there wasn't 14 tonnes of absolute horse shit dropped every day. Yes, I believe it was actually more than 14 tonnes of horse shit a day. But they actually had a problem of clearing it up. Nobody knew where to put it. And so they used to just put it out and it went out towards Thamesmead. Thamesmead is quite literally built on thousands of tons of horse shit. There you go. Didn't know that. Anyway, so he wants to basically rip about half of the civil service away. He's saying a lot of their jobs can be done by AI. I actually agree with him. But that's only because there's so many people in the civil service doing the same jobs or very simple jobs that don't really need doing. That yes, you could get away with losing a lot of them and using some limited AI. But he wants to transform Westminster with a digital revolution. I think that means sticking your finger up and saying swivel. I'm not sure. Maybe. But he says he wants to make £45 billion worth of savings. Although, as I say, nobody knows where that number comes from. He said, and it will have productivity benefits. Well, per capita, yes. The only problem is, though, what about all those people you're making unemployed and all those families that are now going to be reliant on the state? That's an awful lot of people. Because you're not just firing one person. You're not putting one person on the dole. You're not putting one person down for needing assistance. You've got whole families. Has that been factored in? And if so, let's see all the numbers. That'd be interesting. Anyway, he said this new policy will basically axe a load of civil servants and that no person, he said, should do a job that technology or AI can do instead. Now, I don't want to get to become a technological Luddite, but there are some jobs where you do need people. Anything involving people needs people. Human interaction is important. So I think that there's some jobs which you might think we could do, definitely will require humans. Some won't, I agree. Downing Street said it's denied it is taking a chainsaw, their words, again, to the civil service. Although, effectively they are. About half the jobs are going to go. but it is bloated. This is the thing. We can all agree it's bloated. And it's strangely, I find myself agreeing with Keir Starmer in principle, although not in substance. The principle, I agree, it is overly bloated. I don't think AI is going to solve as many problems as he likes, and I don't think it's going to be as simple as he thinks it is. Not kidding. The unions are going to go through the effing roof. Although, what can they do? Anyway, new employment policies, he says, will make it easier to encourage failing officials to quit their jobs, while the highest paid will be put on personal development plan if they fail to deliver, with a view to dismissing them if they do not improve in 6 months. So basically, if you're in the top 10%, he's saying you either show that you're worth it, show that your salary is justified, or you're out the door, matey. Quite right too. Those at the top are the ones that make all the bad decisions. Remember, the shit rolls downhill, but it shouldn't. Shit starts at the top, and if things are going wrong, it's because they're going wrong from the top down. And who's at the very top? Starmer. Let's get rid of him. They want to bring in a thing called a tech apprenticeship. It's going to bring 2,000 apprentices in to public sector departments, but these are tech apprenticeships. So basically what they're saying is, at the moment, with technology, you learn a bit at school, you learn a bit more at college, you learn by teaching yourself, then you go and work in a company, you try and scram off what other people do, and it takes years. And what they want now is a form of tech learning, so that people do the school, college, university, and higher. But as part of that university, it's not just the computer science element of it. It's all the stuff that goes alongside. And it's a full understanding of this, including AI and application and all sorts. Again, I think that's a good idea. I really do. But he wants to get these techs and apprenticeships in and put them into Whitehall. I would suggest, if you're talking something as important as national security, the economy, etc., let's not do it with apprentices. I mean, I don't mind having a few apprentices there, but let's make sure we've got some old seasoned greybeards, running around the place who've been there, done that, and know all the problems. Don't don't let the kids run it. But there are fundamental risks involved with all of this, of course. But you've got to take the risk, I think. I don't know. I think I'm fairly for it. I'm certainly for reducing the blob. I'm just very concerned about what decisions are being made by AI, and will AI be making the decisions that will then be implemented, or will AI be making suggestions that will be discussed by a bit of a wet brain? I don't want tin making decisions. I want wet brains making decisions. Tins can make suggestions, but ultimately, you've got to have someone in charge. It's complex, but if we could get rid of half the civil service, as long as we get rid of the right half. Thanks very much. Bye.